diverse. Before going to start the class, we have to know the target of the lesson. And that means what we are going to learn today. That is called learning outcomes. By the end of this lesson, we will be able to, that means when we will complete this lesson, we will be able to read and understand text, use new vocabulary, ask and answer the questions. You know, these are our targets of our lesson today. My dear students, now we will know some meaning of the keywords. If we know the meaning of the keywords, our text will be easy for us to understand. For this, we have to know the meaning of some keywords. At first, rare. What is the meaning of rare? Rare means not common. That is, rare means অসাধারণ, যা সাধারণ নয়. Sometimes we can say that this is a rare picture of Bangladesh. ইহা বাংলাদেশের একটি বিরল চিত্র. Next, descend. Descend means, you can see the picture of the descent. You see, a man is going down. That means descend, go down. নিচের দিকে যাওয়া. That is descend. You can see the picture. Next, hazardous. Hazardous. Understand what is the pronunciation of this word? Hazardous. That means risky. বিপদযুক্ত. We can make a sentence with hazardous. It is very hazardous for the people to go out without mask. বর্তমান সময়ে লোকদের মাস্ক ছাড়া বাইরে যাওয়া বিপদসংকুল. Nowadays, it is hazardous for the people to go out without mask. Understand, my students? Rely. What is the meaning of rely? Thank you, my students. Depend or to place faith, নির্ভর করা. Sometimes we can say, I can rely on you. আমি তোমার উপর এটা বিশ্বাস করতে পারি না বা নির্ভর করতে পারি না. That's I can rely on you. My dear students, we have known the meaning of the keywords. Now we will go to the text. I request you, my students, you open your book, Unit 7, Lesson 2. You read the lesson and I will read with you. You can follow me with my pronunciation and stress. Start, my students. Before the beginning of the 20th century, pearls were obtained from far oysters. What is the meaning of oysters? ঝিনুক. আমরা সবাই ঝিনুককে চিনি. ঝিনুকের মধ্যে মুক্তা পাওয়া যায়. So, these oysters were collected from the bottom of the ocean, lake or river. Understand, my students? Okay. Next para. To get enough pearl oysters, free divers were often forced to descend to the depth of more than 100 feet in one breath. Can you imagine? 100 ফিট নিচে যায় এক শ্বাস প্রশ্বাসে। Understand, it is very, very risky for the divers, hazardous for the divers. Because of the difficulty of diving, pearls at that time were of different quality as well as very rare. For this they use special techniques, and it is very dangerous for the divers to collect the pearls. For this, at that time, pearls were very expensive. My dear students, are you taking interest about this text? I think so. It's a very interesting text. Next para. In Asia, some pearl oysters could be found on shoals at a depth of 5 to 7 feet from the surface. What is the meaning of shoals? Shoals, that means অগভীর পানির তলদেশ, that is shoals, shallow water, the bed of the shallow water. At times, the divers had to go 40 feet or even up to 120 feet deep to find enough pearl oysters. Understand, my students, how difficult task it is. These deep dives were extremely hazardous to the divers. Hazardous, that means risky. When you do any risky job, and if you get something with risk, that things are very valuable and costly. Now, here are two questions. We will try to answer these. You see, what is the text about? Can you understand what is the text about? Thank you. The text is about the AMA divers. Understand, my students? We are reading about AMA divers. Next, where did the people get the pearls from? Here we have to know the tense of the question, because if we want to answer any question, we have to know the tense of the question. Here is did in the question, so our answer will be in the past tense. Okay, my students, now we can go to the text. Where did the people get the pearls from? You see, in Asia, some pearl oysters could be found on shoals at a depth of 5 to 7 feet from the surface. In the last stanza and second stanza, to get enough pearl oysters, free divers were often forced to descend to the depth of more than 100 feet in one breath. We have found the clues of the answers of this question. Now, finally, we'll go to the answer. What will be the answer of these two questions? First questions, the text is about the AMA divers. I think you have written this. Thank you, my dear students. Now, answer number 2. People got. Why got? The question pattern was in the past tense. So, we have used here got, past tense of get. People got the pearls from pearl oysters, which were collected from the bottom of the ocean, lake, and river. My students, now we will go to the next text. You see, here is a text. You read with me. That will be good for you for pronunciation and stress. and you have to know the meaning of the passage, or you have to read carefully, because we have to practice some question answers from here. So, my students, in some fishing villages along the coast of Japan, there are amazing groups of women known as Emma divers. Understand? Have you got the idea about the Emma divers? These women worked and are still working as Emma. The word Emma means women of the sea or sea women. They are independent divers, স্বাধীন. None can force them to do. They are working willingly. So, say they are independent divers. They make their living by diving. They can dive to the depth of the sea up to 25 meters, and they dive without using oxygen tanks or other breathing equipment. It is very dangerous for them. Without equipment, they are going underwater, and it is 25 meters deep. They are going under this water. The Emma divers rely on their own skills and breathing techniques. Actually, they have special breathing techniques. They are going underwater without any equipment. So they have a special breathing technique. They use that skill and technique to push themselves down to the bottom of the sea and back to the surface again. They can hold their breath for up to 2 minutes. It is very dangerous for us. It is not easy for us. It is very too tough for us. Careful watching, lung capacity, and hunter instincts are the special qualities of Emma divers. These are the special qualities. You remember these because we have to answer some questions. However, some of these young villagers are going to the city for other jobs. The remaining Emma divers are now aged between 50 and 60. But there are still some who continue to dive even at their 70s. 70 বছর বয়সেও তারা diving করে. If the young people do not take up Emma diving, soon this profession will die out. It is a phrase, die out. Die out মানে হারিয়ে যাওয়া. যদি এই প্রফেশন কেউ না চালিয়ে যায়, এই এমা ড্রাইভিং প্রফেশন একদিন হারিয়ে যাবে. My students, now we'll practice with some questions. You see, first questions. Why are the Emma divers amazing? You can write the answer from here. The Emma divers are amazing because they do not use oxygen tanks or other breathing equipment in diving into the sea. My students, now we go to the next question. How deep can the Emma divers go down in the sea? Can you remember? Yes, the Emma divers can go up to 25 meters. 25 মিটার নিচে যেতে পারে. Now my students, we are going to the question number 3. What techniques and skills do the Emma divers use in diving? You see, the Emma divers use their own breathing techniques and skills in diving. Lung capacity and hunter instincts are the special qualities of Emma divers. We have discussed it the special qualities of our Emma divers. Now we are going to the last questions. What is the question? Why do you think are the young villagers going to the city? The answer will be, diving is a very difficult job. We have discussed while we read the text. It is a very difficult job. It is risky too. They may not get enough pearl oysters in the sea. আগের মতো oysters পাওয়া যাচ্ছে না. Jobs in the cities are less difficult and more profitable. I think these are the reasons that the young villagers are going to the city. My students, I think you have written the question answer. We are in the last phase of our lesson today, my students. I will give you a homework. The homework, I think you have seen the questions answers here. And when your school will open, you will show your homework to your subject teacher. He will evaluate your homework. My students, if you want to watch this class again, you can go to Amar Ghore Amar School, or you can visit YouTube channel or Facebook page and put your opinion and write your comment. We will answer your questions. My students, hopefully you will stay at home safe and sound and follow the instructions of the government regarding the COVID-19. Stay safe, my students. Thank you.